Today, cocktail archaeology. We are going to crack open some of the classic manuals of cocktails. Some of these things date back to like the mid-1800s. And we're going to see whether the recipes stand the test of time. So we're going to find something, we're going to make it as written, and hopefully it's going to amaze us. When it doesn't, because most of them won't, we are then going to try to play with it, see if we can fix it, bring it into the modern era. So, we're going to start off with the Savoy Cocktail Book. Let's see what we find in here. A gin daisy, that's kind of boring. A white plush cocktail. A pint of milk. No, we're not doing that. Tuxedo cocktail, those are still. Tanglefoot cocktail. Sunset. Salome. Here's an idea. How about the Royal Clover Club Cocktail? So it calls for the juice of half a lemon, fine. Tablespoon of grenadine, fine. The yolk of 1 egg. I'm not so sure about that. I mean, the yolk. I've had yolks, obviously, in eggnog, but not in this cocktail. Anyway, and then a glass of gin, which I'm guessing we get to decide the measure of a glass. Anyway, let's see what a Royal Clover Club cocktail tastes like. First ingredient Harry calls for is lemon, half of one. There we go. Next ingredient is a tablespoonful of grenadine. Now this one we're actually probably on par with Harry because he probably used real grenadine too. I don't know that the fake stuff was in circulation at the time that Harry was crafting this fine cocktail. And then next up, against my better judgment, the yolk of 1 egg. Looks good. All right, next up is a glass of gin. So I'm gonna do 3 ounces of moderately botanical American London dry style gin. 3. All right. Now, Harry doesn't call for shaking it with ice, but I just assume that that was a literary oversight. But actually, I gotta say, I've never shaken a cocktail with a yolk in it before. And so I'm gonna start by doing a dry shake, which means you shake all the ingredients without the ice, just to give the cocktail, or at least the egg, a fighting chance to emulsify and get into the rest of this. All right, let's see what we got here. Now that's not pretty. I mean, it looks kind of like an iced coffee, but not a good iced coffee. Oh, okay. All right. Now the ice, because that's going to make everything better. All right. Again, it looks like something you'd get at Starbucks. I don't know. All right. There we go. Better or worse? Oh, Harry calls for putting it into a medium-sized glass. That doesn't appeal to me, so I'm going to put it in a coupe. Do I have to try it? I'm just gonna put that down. Well, let's start with the most obvious thing, the egg yolk. Now, if we go back to the regular Clover Club cocktail, it's gin and egg white. So I think that's gonna be the first thing I do. Now, the gin itself is fine, I just wanna be able to taste it. And in order to taste it, again, we're getting rid of the yolk, but I think we're also going to cut way back on the lemon juice. And bitters. You know, bitters are always a good thing in a cocktail. It's kind of the salt of the cocktail world. It kind of heightens and brightens all the other flavors without changing the acidity or sweetness of the drink. Maybe some grapefruit bitters would kind of add a little punch of flavor and maybe clean up this muddy mess. So we're going to play around with this one, and we're going to start off with the gin. I think 3 ounces is fine, so we're going to stick with that. So 3 ounces, just wouldn't it be great if we could taste it? Next up is going to be the lemon juice, but like I said, we are not going to go crazy and put in half of a lemon. So 1/4 ounce of that. Let's throw some grenadine in there, and let's be crazy. Let's do a 1/2 ounce. And we're going to throw in some grapefruit bitters. I like that. It smells like a really hoppy IPA. Okay, throw that in. And then our egg whites, and you know, by the way, when I'm using egg whites in a cocktail, I always use the pasteurized ones. Not only are they safe, they actually mix in and emulsify with the cocktail much better than a fresh egg does, and certainly a heck of a lot better than a yolk. All right, I'm gonna do a ½ ounce is usually plenty to give you that kind of creamy, frothy stuff you want going on. Now, it already looks better. It's not a mud bath like that thing. All right, let's see. There we go. It's got a nice pink hue to it. Strain it out, and well, it smells a heck of a lot better. Oh, yeah. I mean, this is day and night. This, I can taste the gin. I can taste the lemon in the background. Get some nice punch from the hoppiness of the grapefruit bitters, and the grenadine sweetens it up. It's nice, but nothing's like overwhelming, nothing's blowing anything out. This mud bath? No, I don't think so. Sorry, Harry, but this time, the modern age wins.